Welcome, everybody, to this week's show. Food is the best medicine, soul, body, and mind. I am your host, Sana Clark. I am an executive wellness and leadership coach, and food is my passion. But it's not just food for our physical body, it's also food in terms of what are we feeding our mind and what are we feeding our hearts and soul, and how can we live a richer, fuller, more expanded life? So, on today's show, we're focusing on food for the body and food for the mind, literally and figuratively. And I'm going to demonstrate a recipe which is actually very good for the brain, so our brain function. And the key is that so many of my clients come to me and they are really struggling to succeed with their health. Often, these are people who are successful in life generally, so they're successful on the outside, but on the inside, they don't feel that successful, right? And sometimes they use words with me like, I feel like a failure, or I feel like an imposter. And it's because they cannot get their arms around and become successful in the areas of their health. Sometimes it's their relationships. Sometimes it's listening to those dreams that they've been stuffing down inside of them. Sometimes it's their voice for expression. So often they're feeling like they just cannot get there. And one simple area that people often struggle with is being successful with having healthy foods, healthy snacks that are quick, that are simple, that are nutritious and delicious, that they can just kind of grab and go. So when they're busy out there saving the world, they can also be more successful with their health. So today's recipe is one of those. And I have to thank just like three of my clients this week because they were all asking for something that was simple for breakfast because they're getting up in the morning, they're taking care of kids and husband and sometimes an aging parent, and then they have to be ready to get on a Zoom call by 8 a.m. in some cases or 9 a.m. in some cases. And often they don't have time for a breakfast. Or another scenario that they raise with me is this afternoon slump that they hit where they're feeling like in brain fog. You know, their brains are so stressed and overwhelmed by the high cortisol, stress hormones running through their body all morning, that in the afternoon they just feel like shutting down. And so they look for a quick pick me up. And often those pick me ups are candies or cookies or something that's really quick and easy. And so today's recipe can serve both of those purposes. It can provide you with this quick, simple, nutritious, and delicious breakfast, and you can eat the same thing as a snack. So it is going to help you boost that energy that you need for the brain. It contains oats. Let me go through the ingredients. So it contains oats, and I always like to use gluten-free oats so that keeps the inflammation down. And oats are a nervine. Oats help to calm the nervous system down. So they are a great food to have for these busy, busy, high-powered days that we all go through. It also contains healthy fats. Healthy fats are an essential nutrient for the brain because our brain is about 70% fat, right? So we need healthy fats, not trans fats, not poor saturated fats, but the types of fats that can come from nuts and seeds. And today it's coming from chia seeds. So we need the fats coming from that. We're also adding some anti-inflammatory spices. We're using cinnamon, we're using turmeric, we're using a little bit of allspice in there. So turmeric is very good for reducing inflammation. When your body has inflammation, it is going to cause those stress hormones to go up because cortisol, the main stress hormone, is one that also is anti-inflammatory in its normal dosage amount in the body. Um, And so when we eat something or we have a lot of inflammation in the body, it's going to affect cortisol, which affects the blood sugar, which does affect the brain, right? It affects the brain. So everything today is protecting the brain so that we have less brain fog, fewer memory impairments, fewer neurodegenerative risk factors, more clarity, more ease, more freedom in our thinking, clearer visions, right? So, continuing with our ingredients, we're also using maybe a little bit of honey. I love Manuka honey because it's a good immune booster. It's antibacterial and fungal, microbial. All honey is, but most times we want local honey. So, the closer to your home, the better. Or Manuka honey, which is not close to most of our homes since most of it comes out of Australia. But it's such a medicinal form of honey that it's excellent for our food as the best medicine approach, right? And then we're using a liquid, a milk. So I'm using a nut milk. Today I'm using cashew milk. And you can use any kind of nut milk that you like. I like cashew milk because cashews have a higher healthy fat, higher ratio of polyunsaturated fats in them. And it does boost the fat content a little bit of the milk versus something like a oat milk or even an almond milk. So it's a richer milk and it makes your foods creamier. So we all like that creamy texture. Textures are just as important as flavor. So we're going to get started with our delicious overnight oats. The other ingredient that you need is a jar. So I like the jars, but you can use any kind of glass grab and go container. Um, these are good because now that a lot of people are going back to work, you can just grab it and go and take it with you. You can then stick it in the microwave if you want it to be a little hotter. Oh, I missed one key ingredient, which is an orange. So we are working with vitamin C in the orange, as well as the fiber and other polyphenols that are in there. But the vitamin C is also very good for our brain because it's very good for arterial health. And it's going to support the blood vessels that support the brain's function and that allow blood flow and oxygen and nutrients to flow into our brain, all for better clarity and vision and memory and all of these things that we, as we start to get older in age, become more of a concern, right? I'll be 61 on March 21st, 24th, 24th. Send me a happy birthday on that day. But things that support my brain function are now becoming more and more important. So when I learn, I share, and so my clients all benefit. So the recipe can be found after the show. It will be posted on my private Facebook group, Real Food, Real Joy, Real Healing. So you can jump on over. Many of you are already a member of the group. If you're not, please join. And please indicate like what it is that you're working on. I get in there and I'll post like lots of good information, but my clients also share a lot of good recipes and they show you simple ways that they've made variations on those recipes and made their own version, but they're all in there learning how to use food as the best medicine, right? Real food, how to make it easier and more fun, right? Real joy. And then we get real healing, body, mind, and soul. So we get the whole thing. So hop on over there after the show and you'll be able to get the recipe and try this at home. Right now, I will demo it. Do. So I have my oats and I'm going to just raise everything to the camera. So I'm going to add my oats in. It is about a cup of oats, and that's why you want to have a big enough jar because you have to add your other ingredients in. Okay. I am going to add my liquid, my cashew milk in this case. And I'm adding my chia seeds, turmeric, cinnamon, or allspice if that's what you have. You can use that. It does have cinnamon in it, as well as cloves and ginger and some other things. Orange rind. So we're using the skin. I didn't mention this, but the skin always contains the most nutrients, right? So on an orange or lemons, the peel actually has phytochemicals, phytonutrients that are super healing powerhouses. And so for people who are suffering from immune disorders, yes, having the juice of the orange and the fiber of the orange is good, but you also want the peel of oranges, lemon, buy organic so that you're not ingesting an overload of toxins and pesticides. But if you buy organics, you wash it, you can use the peel and you get an added nutritional boost. So I'm now adding those spices in. And my last thing I'm going to add is a little bit of the honey. Okay. This is optional. Some people are working on keeping their hemoglobin A1C, their fasting blood glucose a little low, or they need to lower it because they have pre-diabetes or diabetes, both of which will affect your brain function, clarity, cognition. Um, so you don't want to add a lot of sweeteners. The less that you can do, the best. I made some healthy oatmeal raisin cookies the other night, and I actually used half the sweetener as the recipe called for. And this was a healthy recipe to start with, but I actually used only half, and it was delicious, just like it was. Everybody loved them. I shared them with some friends. Everybody really enjoyed them. So you don't need to add all of that sweetener. I'm also adding in a little bit of the juice. So I remember I said we're taking the orange, we are juicing the orange after we zest it, and we're using both the juice and the zest. And you're able to add some um, lemon pieces of the orange pieces. So you can section your orange and cut up your orange pieces and put that on top and then mix it all in. So let's see. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. And you can see it has a nice orangey color to it. It has a beautiful citrus aroma to it. And it's going to have a delicious taste with the orange and the cinnamon and the turmeric all in there. This is going to be so scrumptious. And this is something you could have cold or you can have hot, right? So, especially people who are trying to boost their immune system or who may be over recovering. I have a lot of clients that are recovering from colds, from flu, even the COVID virus. Having this warm would be a great boost to your immune system, right? So perfect, perfect, perfect. So I also want to invite you. So for those of you who are here because you do want more clarity, right? You want more brain clarity. And so we're working on it from the body perspective, but we also can work on it from a mind perspective and from a listening to our heart and soul perspective and get clarity on where you want to go in your life, right? What's really important to you? This whole pandemic has given us a great opportunity to reflect inside and see what's our definition of real success in our life, true success in our life, true soul success in our life. What's more important? What are my priorities? So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be hosting a free workshop for you. It is my vision workshop, the 3 keys to master success in health, wealth, and happiness, because those 3 areas are extremely important to most of us, right? We all want greater health. We want to have that energy, that longevity to be able to enjoy our life for as long as we're meant to be on this earth. We also want wealth, not only abundance in terms of money, but we want richer relationships. We want a richer career. We want to be able to use these gifts and talents that we've been bestowed with from the higher power and put those out into the world to make other people happier, right? And ultimately, yes, that last word that I said is what we all want. We all want to be happier. So tomorrow's workshop is the vision, the power of the vision, 3 keys to master success in health, wealth, and happiness. I'm going to show you 3 fundamental keys that will increase your success in these areas that matter to you the most. So you can join me tomorrow. We're going to post the link in the comment section. You have to register in order to get the Zoom details. And then we will be on Zoom together. This will air at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, right? So 9:30 Eastern time. And we'll talk for about an hour and 15 minutes. It's very interactive. I love having audience participation and have you ask questions. But everybody loves this workshop. There's not been one person who has taken it who has given me any non-positive feedback. Everybody raves about it because they can take home something just from that workshop. And for those who want to go further, they can do a one-on-one with me. It's also free, complimentary, where I help you really get clear on where you are, where you want to go, and what are some things that you can start to do that. So join me tomorrow, 9:30 in the morning, and we will have fun with this workshop. And in the interim, you can get the recipe today, get the ingredients, make it, and then you can be eating this delicious orange turmeric overnight oats recipe while I am sharing some wisdom with you at our vision workshop. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. But remember, you have to register before that so that you can get the Zoom details and you'll be ready to go. So let's see. I'm going to see if there's any questions in here. People love it, love it, love it. Need less inflammation, definitely. Nancy's husband, I think it is, or her beau, is saying that he's going to make Nancy make this. You could do it together. It's a great way to just enjoy the evening. It literally takes 5 minutes to put this together. It's very simple, very quick, very delicious, and very nutritious. So we get everything. Food is the best medicine, soul, body, and mind. So let's see. Any questions coming in here? Looks pretty good. Nancy, if there's any questions, you can feel free to come on and ask them. I can't quite see in this chat if there's anything coming up. And if we look good, then all right, everybody. So I will see you. Those of you who join me tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow morning. And I will be back next week on this show. Food is the best medicine. Somebody asked, do I blend it? So the only blending that you do is to stir it up. So it will look like this when it's done, but your oats will have broken down. So they will be nice and soft, like in oatmeal. But you do not need to put this in a big blender. No, in fact, it might taste a little weird if you put it in a big blender. You just simply stir it. So very simple. Beautiful question. So thank you, everybody. I'm so glad that you were here, and we will see you tomorrow morning or next week. Invite your friends. Sayonara. Have a good day.